Good morning and welcome back to the channel. I'm excited to take you guys along for a couple of days of training. I have some content to shoot tomorrow. I have kind of a packed schedule. It is already in the afternoon on the first day that I'm filming, which is Tuesday. But I wanted to fill y'all in on what's happening this week and kind of following up on something that I talked about last week. So first off, thank you guys so much for the absolute roaring of prayers sent my way. I just posted a really short thing on my Instagram just saying I'm currently feel like I'm in a storm and God is definitely I can feel him with me, but it also feels as though he's a little bit far away. I feel like I'm in a place right now where I'm feeling challenged in my faith, and I'll share so much more when I have more information, but right now I'm just absolutely 100% having a tough time, and I'm just going to be so honest about that. We weekly vlog or weekly post videos, so it's hard for me to show up on camera and completely put on a fake face and be like, oh yay, everything is fine and dandy, when everything is not fine and dandy. And yeah, I want to show up and be as real as I can with y'all, but also obviously provide some solid entertainment at the same time and continue showing you guys kind of how training is going, etc. Because I know that's why you guys watch the channel, but also I'm a human and things happen in life, and especially with my history of surviving cancer twice and going through 2 different cancer diagnoses, 16 months of chemo, autoimmune disease that was undiagnosed for 6.5 months. I just feel like I've gone through the ringer of things. So if you're watching this channel, you know that history. And if you don't know that history, there's a really quick synopsis of the things that I've kind of gone through over the past couple of years that make this channel maybe not just running focused. So I hope that's okay with me just being open and honest with y'all, and just letting y'all know that I appreciate your prayers. I can feel your prayers. And yeah, I'm just walking through a storm right now. And as someone who's kind of gone through a lot, I can tell you that storms are temporary. The reason why I don't just automatically jump to this conclusion of my life is horrible, I'm so whatever, and attaching this momentary feeling to a permanent structure of my life, is because I've already overcome so many things in my life, and I recognize that pain is temporary, emotional pain, physical pain, all the things, and that life throws storms at us, and those storms will pass. So if you're going through something really tough right now, I just want you to know that you are not alone and that God's got you. Whether you want to believe it or not, he's got your back, and that I'm also going through a storm right now, and though it may feel like we are alone and isolated, we're not alone, and you are not alone. And there are so many people going through different things, whether you know it or not, in their lives, and it's almost comforting to know that we're not unique in a situation of going through tough things. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all the prayers. And that's my quick little intro to today's video. And yeah, let's get on with the vlog. So I decided super last minute that I am racing this weekend. I've done this before in the past where I've just kind of decided to do a race last minute. Nothing like a 100 miler or a 50 miler, but I am gonna be doing a 50K, and I'm interested to see where my fitness is, because you guys know I've been doing a lot of big mountain climbs, but I haven't really been doing high mileage weeks at all. We've been hitting 50-mile weeks, maybe even less some weeks, but I have been training in the mountains quite a bit. So I'm not really expecting myself to PR this race or beat my own course record on this race, but I am just excited to see where I'm at, and also just have fun and race and kind of just get my feet wet in this distance. So I am 5, maybe even less. No, we're 4 weeks out from TMB, Tour de Mont Blanc. So I really honestly need to be getting this distance in anyway. We have a day that is around 27 miles, but we have 5 days of hitting right around 20 to 30 miles. So honestly, I just need to be getting in this volume anyway, and this is a perfect way to kind of get my feet wet, honestly push a little bit harder than I should in a typical 30-mile training day, but I just want to get this distance under my belt before leaving for TMB. So I'm really excited to go do this, and I'm actually returning to this race that I raced last year. So I'm excited to see how we do, but that being said, this week is technically taper week. So I'm doing a few things this week that are still really active, and I want to do a speed session tomorrow probably, but I wanted to show you guys something that I got as far as gear goes that's completely unrelated to this race, but is related to some adventures that I want to do this summer, including some fast packing. So I want to show you guys this pack because today will be the first time I'm testing it out. I'm interested to see kind of how it feels. So let's put it on. So this is the Outdoor Vitals 30-liter Skyline pack. So this pack is literally built for fast packing. If you don't know what fast packing is, it's essentially backpacking, but ultra light, trying to run the downhills or at least the flats. And it's basically just a faster way. It's a fancy name for a faster way to backpack. So sometimes we've done, you know, like 10 miles a day fast packing, or not fast packing, backpacking, but fast packing would be, you know, trying to get a little bit more mileage in each day, and also just running and having a little bit faster of a pace. So we want a pack that is going to be designed to be able to run, like hustle a little bit on trail, not necessarily something with a heavy frame that's going to be really supportive, have a lot of liters of capacity, and be kind of heavy. So I love my Mystery Ranch packs for backpacking. That is my #1 recommended brand for all things backpacking. I absolutely love Mystery Ranch, but this pack is definitely more suited for the faster days. I also purchased a RAB equipment one, so I'm testing both those out for any sort of summer adventures just to see which one fits better. So I will say, as a smaller female, it has been a little bit harder for me to find fast packs because a lot of them are definitely more male oriented and just don't really fit my 5'2" frame very well. And you'll see when I throw this on that I kind of have the same little issue with this, but it's actually not that bad. So this is the size small of the Outdoor Vitals Skyline 30. As you can see, we have lots of adjustment here in the chest, which for me is definitely super crucial. In the RAB one, I'm touching like all of this. So basically I have to cinch all the way and I still don't have any room. So this one fits a little bit better as far as the actual like running vest apparatus goes. We've got lots of pockets. I actually love this pocket here. Anything with a zipper for me on trail, I just absolutely love, because I like to have my keys, my wallet, anything like that I know I need to save and not be like flopping around in my pack in a zippered pocket. So I love that there's 2 zippered pockets. I also love that we have the flasks up front here, but also have an additional pocket. So it's stacked a little bit more, I would say, like ergonomically than my Race Bronco vest, which is just my daily trainer vest. On the Race Bronco, maybe I'll just grab it. On my Race Bronco, I actually hate this pocket here. So this is where you put the flasks, and then this pocket is like legitimately useless to me. I haven't figured out like how to actually use that pocket at all. So honestly, I normally don't have anything in that pocket because it always just falls out. I love these side pockets, and I love the flask pocket and also the open back. So I do love this vest. This is my daily trainer vest, but I do like that these pockets are stacked a little bit more ergonomically, and I do think that if I put gels in here, they aren't going to move. So love that. Way to go, Outdoor Vitals. And I also really like, I don't know if you can see here, maybe I'll scooch y'all back a little bit and scooch you down. As you can see here, it's actually off of my butt, which has been a little bit harder for me to find for fast packs. So I do appreciate that. I feel like it actually does fit my frame pretty dang well. So I'm excited to just try this out. I'm not gonna do anything crazy today because we are in taper week. I just wanna do like a little puppy trail walk. So I'm gonna take this along just to kind of test it out. To be completely honest with you, I've been an absolute stress ball today and haven't left the house. So I'm forcing myself to test gear outside, to force myself to go outside. I'm not usually one who like skips my workouts, or I don't know. I feel like I never really make excuses for myself, but today has been really, really tough. So just forcing myself to get out and kind of give myself an excuse to get out of like, I need to test this gear out and I need to film today. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So far I really like the construction of this vest, but we will see how it actually performs on trail. We do have a little bit of a frame in the back. I'll show you guys. Also, these are completely adjustable. So if you need to move these up or down, there's several different hooks to where these can adjust, which I think is absolutely genius, especially for a vest that only comes in small, medium, large. So we need to make sure that there's adequate adjustments on those sizes when brands are creating sizes that are pretty minimal and also unisex. So a unisex small, medium, large. But as you can see, I don't know if y'all can see it. I don't know if you can see, but there is like a jelly frame here. So it's not a like hard frame that's gonna be super heavy, but there is a little jelly frame and you cannot remove this. So this frame is stuck in there, but I will say it's very lightweight. It's almost like a foam, and I wish I could show it to y'all, but you can't really see it because it's in the mesh. So really like that. I could fit 2 regular little water bottles on the sides. So this is where I would put my tent, and I'll show you guys how I pack this in future fast packing videos. So I'm gonna test this out and update y'all on it. I feel like this has been such a long-winded introduction to this video, but let's go. go out. We made it to the trailhead. I'm gonna show you guys a shoe that I'm also trying out. You guys know I'm not really a Hoka girl, but these Mafate X just like seemed interesting to me. I will say they are quite heavy, so I don't know if these are gonna be like a regular like running shoe for me, but they're like really high stack height, really cushiony. I was kind of thinking like maybe for like a long hike or even like backpacking, I feel like they might be good because a lot of cushion's really good for if you have weight on your back, but I don't know about like racing in these. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try them out today. I'm also not wearing hiking socks at all. I'm wearing like these roughly girly socks, but that's okay. But yeah, these are the Hoka Mafate X. We'll see how these guys are. And trying out Azure Vitals. Love it. It's so stunning here. So these trees are all aspens. So in the fall, they are bright yellow, like so gorgeous. They're really pretty right now, but in the fall, stunning. Oh, thanks guys. Oh, Opie wants to lay down in the river. Her favorite thing in the whole world. It's starting to open up, and it is gorgeous. I was kind of expecting to see a little bit more snow up here, but it's clear. Summer is here, baby. It's gorge. Pack so far, really like shoes. I need to get a better heel lock. All right. So my feet are absolutely soaked. The river's a little bit too raging to like navigate those logs right now. As you saw, like when I stepped on one, it immediately sunk. So feet are wet. This is actually a good test of the shoes to see how they drain. Right now I just have a lake in my shoe, so that's good. Okay, we made it to the lake. It's gorgeous and so much snow. Gotta find a good spot. Too cliffy. Too cliffy. Let's keep going. Come on, puppies. We can maybe try there. Gorgeous, guys. So stunning. We're gonna have to scoot down. This is like super cliffy here, but there's dogs on the other side, so I kind of want to get around. Nice. Woo. Must be nice to have 4 legs, guys. Look at you guys. Is that so nice? Okay, it's freezing, but I'm gonna do a little plunge because nothing is better for the mental health than a Alpine cold plunge. So I'm gonna get in. I don't want to, but I'm gonna do it. Let's do it. Freezing, absolutely freezing, but that was so good for the mental health. I already feel better, but I am frozen, so let's put our clothes back on. Obviously this is snow melt. There's so much snow still over that, so it is freaking cold. Go bud, go bud. Brady, that's not helpful. He sees a dog. Brady, stop. as I was saying, obviously this is all snow melt, so that water is anything but warm. But once we get down the incline a little bit, we'll hit the sun, we'll be totally fine. Honestly, once we get moving, we'll be totally fine. Today was honestly such a good reminder of just the need to be outside for me. You guys know, I got into racing as like a supplementary hobby because I loved being out in the outdoors, and being in the outdoors and hiking and backpacking was a huge outlet for me while going through cancer. And I just feel like when going through tough times, like I just need to be outside so much more, especially if the sun is out, even if it's really tough for me to get myself out the door. So Oakley, you guys know, Oakley doesn't really love like running. She's way more of like a backpacking speed type of dog. So I like bringing her on these shorter days where I'm not running, I'm just hiking. So I liked having her with me, and Brighton as well. Obviously, going with the two dogs and having them both be on leash is a little bit harder to hike, but it's worth it. It's super, super worth it. Nothing says dirtbag like having the dirtiest socks on planet Earth and putting them back on your feet. Love it. Honestly, there's nothing like being dirty in the outdoors. Honestly, nothing makes me happier. So I needed this badly. Oh, I'm freezing. I want to make some trips this summer out to Wyoming. That's a huge goal of mine this summer, is to do some backpacking and just hiking in Wyoming. The Tetons specifically have been a bucket list location for me, and I really want to get out there. So we're gonna plan a few things to make sure that I do that. So, okay, shoes are almost on. Oh my gosh, I'm freezing. My hands are freezing. How many times can I say that? But I am. My hands are freezing. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming to cold plunge with me in my Alpine lake. Let me wipe you off. I'm very glamorous, as you guys can tell, but you guys have seen me in worse condition. Oh my gosh, Brighton, stop. Oh shoot. You little bugger. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go, bud. Go. As I was saying, but you guys have seen me in such worse condition. So I'm gonna pack up my bag and we're gonna get back into the sunshine before I freeze to death. I'm a little warmer now, not shivering. Coming down the mountain. I'm definitely not warm, but I'm not freezing cold anymore, so that's good. It's so gorgeous here, y'all. How many times can I say that in one hike? Not enough. My hair is soaked. I didn't think that one through, but all is well. All is well. The sun is setting. It's gorgeous outside. I got my 2 pups. Mental health is feeling much better. Much better. In last week's video, I got a lot of questions about Brighton. I got a couple questions about his recall when I decided to like put him on leash, not put him on leash, etc. It honestly completely depends on the trail, how populated the trail is, if I think there's gonna be a ton of dogs out or a ton of people out. If it's like heavy moose populated areas, which this tends to be, but I didn't see any signs of anything today, so honestly I feel comfortable taking him off coming downhill. And then as far as his commands go, so I actually want to get an e-collar trainer out. My friend Abby actually has someone that she utilizes to be able to have him just have like super duper solid recall with an e-collar. So it'll make a sound essentially like a beeper sound, and it'll just, he could hear me no matter like how loud our surroundings are. So I think that's something that I really want to get because his recall is really good, but it's not perfect. He has chased deer a few times, which was news to me because he used to literally completely ignore them. But in general, he's very reliable, very responsive. He's always been that way since he was a little puppy. And I'll just have him, I mean, he stays pretty dang close. And if there's other dogs on trail, I will just have him in a sit or in a lay down, and then I'll hold him as we pass other dogs, kind of depending on the situation. If it's an off-leash trail, which we do have some here, then I don't worry about that at all. But yeah, that's just kind of kind of the deal. And then Oakley back here, she needs to be on leash because she's so slow. She will just like be way far behind, and I don't want her to fall behind. So I keep her on leash. She's just consistent in her pace. But yeah, hope that answers your guys' doggy questions. I love taking them. Honestly, I don't really like going completely by myself on trail. And with the dogs, I don't feel like I'm alone at all. Okay, we made it back to the car. I am like disgusting, covered in dirt, freezing cold, and also sort of look like a safari person with this Arc'teryx button up. But we're back to the car, and the dogs are so stinking dirty, but the souls are feeling so much better. So thank you guys for coming along for a little hike today. I know oftentimes it's just running content on here, but honestly, I love hiking, and it's kind of how I fell in love with trail running to begin with. I need to clean you guys off again. Sorry, you're so dirty. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming along that trail run with me. So fun, so needed, and that Alpine dip just made it that much more interesting. I wasn't even planning on really doing that unless it was like sunny out, but it was not sunny out, and I decided to do it anyway, and I'm happy about it, even though I'm a little soaking and dirty. But yeah, I just feel like I got a big, deep breath from that hike. So if you are feeling like you're overwhelmed or you're facing a storm right now, I encourage you to get outdoors, because for one, being outdoors is literally linked to improved mental health, like just being in the trees and being in nature and being disconnected from phones. I always encourage everyone to get away from cell service if possible. I am away from cell service. If you can do that, I encourage it like very deeply. For me, I just feel like, especially with my job, I'm so connected like electronically so much that I just feel like I need these disconnection moments. Yes, I'm vlogging, but this is like something I enjoy doing, and it's not like pulling me a million directions, and my phone oftentimes feels like that. It feels a little bit overwhelming to have a million people reaching out to me. If you guys see on Instagram, I post all the time my notifications because they're out of control. But yeah, I encourage you to get outside, get moving. I know it can be so hard. Like all of today, all I wanted to do was like lay down and just rot, honestly. But the last thing that I need is to lay down and rot and like sit in my sadness. So I encourage you to agitate out of that and get outside, and even if it's just a little hike or a big hike, whatever it is, I just encourage you to go do so, because it's so good for the mental health. But anyway, I feel so much better. The dogs are dirty, but they're so happy, and they're gonna sleep so well tonight. And yeah, what time is it? It's almost 8 p.m. And this is also why I love summer, because we get much longer days. The sun is about to set, but it hasn't even set yet, and it's so stunning. So thank you all for coming along. I love ya. Okay, so I'm in the middle of making my sunomono. So I just cut up a bunch of the cucumbers like as thinly as I can. I don't have a mandolin, and I don't know if I trust myself with a mandolin anyway, but I'm gonna sprinkle about 2 teaspoons of salt on top. This is to just draw out the water. So I'm gonna put the salt on and then massage the cucumbers to basically just cover them. So it's in a little strainer, but it's gonna seem like a lot of salt. We will wash it off after, I promise, but sprinkle it on like that. And then we're gonna massage the cukes. I'm gonna do one more little scoop of salt, because this is pretty, oh, that was all in one spot accidentally. And then once these are fully massaged, I'm going to let them sit for 10 minutes. That's gonna help to draw out the water. We basically want there to be as little water as possible in the cucumber salad. So if you've ever tried to make sunomono and your cucumber salad's like super watery, the cucumbers are like super juicy still, that is why. It's because you're not drawing enough water out. So we're good here. I'm gonna let these sit on the counter for 10 minutes. Boom. Okay, so the cucumbers have been sitting for over 10 minutes. Let's see how much water comes out of the bottom here. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna massage them a little bit more and like try and really squeeze the cucumber water out. So staying on top of this, I might put a couple more paper towels down actually, like so. And just taking them and literally just like wringing them out, trying to get as much water as we can. Whee! Look at that, there's still so much So really giving them a good little wring out. Okay, now that we've squeezed all the water out, I'm gonna take the cucumbers and put them in a bowl. Clean up after myself a little bit, but see how thin they get now with no water. That one's obviously a little bit busted, but look at that. Oh, we got a text. So we're gonna toss these in a bowl and then put our seasoning on top. Okay, now we're gonna drizzle our little sauce on top. So this is rice vinegar, a little bit of Bragg's liquid aminos, and nothing else. Oh, and a little bit of sugar. So actually I used sugar substitute, so just a little bit of stevia. So I'm just gonna pour this on, mix it around, and let this sit for at least an hour. So that's what we should look like. Give it a nice little mix and let that sit. I'm actually gonna keep it in the fridge until after I get back from my run, so it'll be nice and marinated by then. And then right before I eat it, I'll toss on some toasted sesame seeds on top. This just adds a nice little like smoky element and just is so delicious. So that's how I make my tsunamono. If you add too much salt in the process of drawing the water out, you can actually rinse the cucumbers out before squeezing them out. But honestly, I like incorporating the salt anyway into the sauce. So instead of putting it in like the marinade, I just keep the salt that was originally on the cucumbers, if that makes sense. So this is gonna go in the fridge and marinate. I'll check in with you guys after my run on how this tastes. Delish. So we just pulled up, or I just pulled up to go run with the guys. So running with Bart and Shane today. And it is freaking hot. I don't know whose idea it was to run this late. It was my idea, but it's freaking hot. But let's get it.
We're driving west to the coastline, and it feels like summertime as the wind is blowing by. Yesterday in the rear view, moving on to the brand new. Skies ahead, the clearest blue.
Okay, I'm back home from my run. I'm gonna try the tsunamono now. Ooh. Definitely looks way more incorporated. I added a little bit extra of the rice vinegar from when I'm gonna try it without the sesame. Oh yeah. That is some good tsunamono. So good. Okay, now we're gonna sprinkle. Woo! Got a kick to it. I'm actually gonna put it in a little bowl and then put the sesame seeds on it. So we ended up just running on the road today, which is perfect, honestly, for my taper, for Bart's taper, just to keep things pretty low key. The number one thing that I would recommend if you are racing, it doesn't matter if it's a 50K, if it's a 100 miler, if it's a half marathon, if it's a 5K, is just to like actually taper. So instead of just continuously keeping your normal training rhythm, bringing your training volume down the week before your race will help you recover and will help you to be able to perform at a higher level on your race day. So for me, for a 100 miler, it's definitely 2 weeks is like a pretty heavy taper. I hit my peak around 3 weeks out, and then 2 weeks out is when I start to actually taper. So tapering basically just means bringing volume down, bringing intensity down, and allowing the body to fully recover for race day. For something like a 100 miler, obviously you need a very intentional taper, but for something like a random 50K that I'm signing up for last minute, I'm not really doing like a super aggressive taper. We didn't do 2 weeks of a taper. We're basically doing like 5 days, but honestly, it's okay. My training volume hasn't been super high anyway, so we'll just kind of see how I do. And honestly, this is an F goal. This is definitely not even close to like my A race or A goal. So anyway, back to the tsunamono talk. I like a lot of sesame seeds, so we hit it with the toasted sesame seeds. Toasted, much better in tsunamono than like raw. Let's give it an official. The toasted sesame seeds adds so much to the flavor. Oh my gosh, this is good. If you do not like vinegar, you will hate this. My husband doesn't really like vinegar or like vinegar-based salads, so he will not be enjoying this. But That is so good. Obsessed. And traditionally, you can add a couple other things to it to make it traditional. Some people add like seaweed, so nori. I actually have some nori. Maybe I'll throw some in the bigger batch. But you can add some nori. You can add like imitation crab. Some people I've seen add that, or even like octopus. I've seen added, but traditional, just like regular sunamono. This is what this is. So good. Delish. I ate more than what I showed you today. I just didn't film it, but I will film my dinner for y'all because I'm getting hungry. What time is it? Almost 7. This is so freaking good. I need to make this more. Yes, he just ran into the sliding glass door. Let me get him. Suddenly it is dark outside and I still haven't cooked dinner yet. I've had a few other snacks, but I think for dinner I'm just gonna heat up some of this beef stew that I made a couple days ago. It just has braised beef, it has some rice noodles, peas, corn, carrots, super good, super high protein, and I just made this in like a huge batch. So I'm just gonna heat some of this up and I'm gonna close out today's video. I know this is kind of all over the place, but I appreciate you guys being here as always. Thank you for listening to my chats. Thank you for listening to me like sharing a little bit, but not sharing everything. Once again, I appreciate you guys so much and appreciate all of the prayers so much. You guys are incredible, absolutely incredible. But I'm so excited to share with you guys the race that I'm racing on Saturday. Hopefully things go okay. I'm excited to see kind of where we're at, just because fitness is a little bit different than it was this time last year. So I'm excited to see kind of what we can do last minute without much training specifically for this race. So stay tuned for next week's video, and that will be that race video. But I love you guys so stinking much. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, stay unbreakable.